to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Kotonoha. Happy birthday to you. Blow out the candles, Kotonoha. Yay! I love you. And I hope you have a good birthday today.
You've been red.
Before we get to the story, please hit the subscribe button as well as the bell icon. It helps me out a lot. Also, check out my Instagram where you'll see pictures of my cosplay, my progress, as well as art not featured on here and is exclusive to Instagram. Also, check out that I have a new merchandise store, all of which is art and done by me. Thank you guys so much, and onto the video. This year-long incident happened 2 years back when I was in high school. I still remember it as clear as day just because of how simultaneously ridiculous and traumatizing it was at the time. Here's a little background. I'm petite, around 5'2", 105 pounds. 100% Taiwanese. There's not a single drop of Japanese blood in my lineage. At the time of this story, I had blunt bangs and really dark brown hair that fell to my elbows. When I was entering my senior year of high school, I had just recently moved from Washington to SoCal due to my parents' work, so I didn't know anyone. Fortunately, during my first year, I met a girl named Stace, and we became friends right away. I also met a guy named Sam, who will be important later. Sometime during the week, I caught the attention of a guy in my English class who was also new to the school. For the next month or so, I kept noticing him staring at me. He always had this weird smile on his face whenever I did, although he was modest enough to look away. I thought it was just one of those awkward moments when you accidentally look at someone and they accidentally look at you and then you just can't stop looking at each other. When I started seeing him around where Sam and Stace and I hung out during lunch, I just dismissed it as a weird coincidence. I finally met him when we had a group project in English. My teacher paired us up randomly and he just happened to be paired up with me. I didn't know it then, but it was the worst stroke of luck I have ever had. Wasabi introduced himself enthusiastically. I didn't have much of a first impression from him. He was pretty clean cut, although a little socially awkward. He had a lot of anime postcards on both sides of his binder and a keychain on his backpack, but other than that, he didn't give off a weeby vibe. Knowing that I was new, he asked me where I was from, but when I told him Washington, he shook his head. "Sorry, I meant which part of Asia are you from?" He sized me up. "Japan, right?" He followed with something in Japanese. I shook my head and told him that I was born and raised in the US, and in any case I was Taiwanese, not Japanese. Upon hearing that, he looked a little disappointed, but told me it was okay because I looked the part, and that was enough. We got onto the topic of anime, and he started talking about how much he thought the moe girls were cute, all the while staring at me adoringly. At one point he said I looked like one of the girls from K-On! Mayo, I believe. He also liked to tease me of liking certain people, which I would obviously deny. That resulted in him telling me I was cute when I was flustered. In general, it was annoying, embarrassing, especially since we were always in earshot of other people. Then Wasabi started hanging out with my friends when I ate at lunch. He was loud, always butted into our conversations, especially between myself and anyone of the male gender, especially Sam, which I guess Wasabi considered his arch nemesis. Wasabi would always be pressuring to start an argument while staring at me at the corner of his eye, to see if I was impressed. Needless to say, I wasn't, and I always walked away. He was also obsessed with memes. "You mad, bro?" was a constant phrase in his arguments, as well as "cool story, bro," when someone talked back. When I told him that he was being obnoxious, he would poke me in the side or tease me. "You're so cute when you're mad." The only time he would leave me alone was when Stace was around. I think Wasabi was scared of her. There was also this creepy way he obsessed over my appearance. Wasabi complimented me consistently, constantly, oh my god, calling me a real-life anime character, always touching my hair. When I wore skirts and dresses, he called me a kawaii doll, but when I had my hair up or wore American fashion, he would stare at me and shake his head. A couple times he tried to get me to wear a ratty pair of cat ears made out of felt that for some reason he kept in his locker. He constantly tried to teach me Japanese and Japanese culture through his extensive knowledge from anime, although I told him I was not interested. Still, he seemed to expect me to adopt a certain personality, one that was a shyer and more modest. I think he was trying to project a cute and innocent image onto me to fulfill his insane fantasies. Wasabi actually got really angry once I cut my hair. I had really long hair back then, so I had 11 inches donated to Locks of Love. I was excited to see what people would say about my new hairstyle, and which now fell past my shoulders. Everyone was shocked, but they were so excited. Except for Wasabi. When Wasabi saw me, his smile fell so fast and it looked like he was ready to slap me across the face. He was ogling at me like I had just murdered his family. "What did you do?" When I told him I donated my hair for a good cause, he gave me the most horrible response. "I don't care about cancer patients, they're gonna die anyway." I told him he was majorly messed up and refused to speak with him for the rest of the day. I saw him shooting death glares at Sam when he said I looked cute. The next morning, I found an apology letter in my locker. In it, Wasabi wrote how he still thought I was kawaii and that he was angry because he cared, and it was signed in Japanese. Apparently, he thought that this was enough because he tried rejoining my friends and I during lunch and pretend nothing happened. He stormed off when I refused to talk with him. All this was just a precursor to how more insane he would later become.